¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo se encuentran? El día de hoy tenemos una entrevista súper esperada. Es una agrupación que nos encanta, suena muchísimo en Radio Bizarro. Y con nosotros está Jeff de Poolside. Woo! Hi.
Hello, man.
Wow, what an introduction. Thank you.
We're kind of loud, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
How you doing? What were you doing before this interview?
Well, I just got home from 6 weeks of tour yesterday, and my dog is very needed a grooming, so I'm out I'm gonna go to the dentist later. You know, boring life stuff that you don't get to do when you're on tour. You have to do all of it when you return. So that's real life for you.
Yeah, that is real life. What do you miss the most when you go touring? Because you're gonna start a tour also now, right?
Yeah, I'm just about to be gone for another month coming up. I miss cooking and my girlfriend and my dog and having more control of my schedule, but I like to tour as well, so it's not that bad.
That's awesome. Actually, you have a really important story that we spoke outside of this interview, but we would like to address it. You met love here in the DR with your current partner. We'd like to know that love story, please.
Okay, well, I'll try to make it brief, but I was touring Europe, and it was in the winter, and I flew from Berlin to Dominican Republic, which was crazy.
Yeah.
Because it was snowing in Berlin. And I played this jam band festival. And normally I'm kind of not super social. Like at festivals and stuff, I just keep to myself. But I didn't know anyone there. It was my first time at a jam band, seeing jam bands or anything. So one day I was like, I'm just going to go talk to people, meet people. And so I was, backstage at the festival, and everybody was super nice. And there was this one girl painting faces. Like she had some paint and was painting kids' faces. I guess in jam bands, it's normal to bring your children to the festival. I don't know. It's unusual. But at any rate, she was painting these kids' faces, and I went and asked her if she would paint my face. and she did. And we struck up a conversation and exchanged info. And, she had a boyfriend at the time. Oh. So we didn't do anything, but we stayed in touch for a few months. And then as fate would have it, we found ourselves together in about a few months after the festival had ended. But yeah, we met in Punta Cana backstage at a music festival.
That's so lovely.
And random.
Yeah. Random, obviously.
I guess hooking up tips are just to go to the face painter and just strike a conversation, no?
Great advice.
Don't be an idiot and just say hi to the face painter and you'll get there.
Maybe you'll find love in DR. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So exactly that.
You've been in DR several times, and you came doing DJ sets. And I would like to know, what are you preparing for the Isle of Light? Is it going to be a DJ set, or are you coming with the full band?
No, the full band experience. A lot of
we love that.
It's a lot more of people and gear and effort, but it's really rewarding. I love to DJ, and but yeah, playing the songs live is definitely a different experience for people. So we're bringing the whole band, and we've just been on the road for 6 weeks, so we're really tight, bro. We're really good. So we're the best we've ever been playing, and it feels really good. And I'm super excited to play for you guys.
So are we, actually. I would like to know a bit more of the composition of the whole band that's coming to play here, because we've heard Poolside, but what are we gonna see on stage when you guys are there?
Well, funny, we were talking off mic a few minutes ago or whatever, off the air, and it's the rhythm section from one of my favorite bands is the Rapture, who are going to play Isle of Light in the pandemic.
That's funny you say that, because we're finally getting the Rapture in a way through you guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's not easy to get them, and so they're one of my favorite bands ever, and the rhythm section was so good that once I started my live band, I just wanted to have them, and I was lucky enough to get them. So that's two of the members are the bass and vocalist from Rapture and the drummer of Rapture are in the Poolside touring band. And then this guy Casey plays a bunch of instruments, saxophone mostly, but he is the cousin of Vito, the drummer. They're cousins. And then my friend Alton Allen we write music together, and so I got him to be in the band too. So that's the 5 of us.
It sounds like family. It sounds like family. So
it is very much family. We've all known each other for a really long time. So yeah, it's cool.
I would like to know your perspective when you put together the DJ set and the band. Which one will you prefer? Not necessarily performing only, but also behind the scenes.
I think it's just like life. When I haven't DJ'd for a while, I miss DJing, and when I haven't played the live band in a while, I miss that. So it's whichever one I don't have, I want.
I guess we get a bit like greedy in that sense, but not like in the bad sense. But we always crave things to improve our project and to also perfect, because you like DJing, it's easy, but then you kind of miss the live performance and then you go back. How do you do that with music? Because Poolside for the last year has been really consistent up until obviously the pandemic. How did that affect you, and how has Poolside been able to create after that?
Well, I mean, I've just kept trucking through. I mean, I think in a lot of ways it's cool because I did a lot during the pandemic. Like I live streamed DJ sets every week, and I put out like a song like almost every 3 weeks or something, a song or a remix. So I just started working to make my depression like less,
of course,
because it was really hard time. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, me and my girlfriend broke up at that time too, because we were like, when you're in like a little house with nothing to do, it's like hard. So I was like, we're back together now, but yeah, it was like a pretty lonely time for me. And so yeah, I just put myself into the music, and now when I see people at shows, they're like very grateful that I did so much output during that time, which feels very rewarding, because I had no idea what was happening. I just kind of worked every day. So in some ways, in retrospect, it was a good time for me to get better and improve at stuff that sometimes you don't have time to. But it was also very depressing and lonely. So I'm very glad it's over. But yeah, I don't know that it affected my creativity at all. I just kind of kept moving. That was my thought, was just keep going and hope for the best.
It's fun you mentioned depression and the creative process, because you mentioned in an interview that you create this fun environment in order for you to create. And I would like to know how was it during the pandemic? Because I don't think there was a space for fun.
No, I mean, it was so hard. And like, I zoomed out. Like I was talking to my friend in Mexico, and he was like, hey, we're on the coast in Puerto Escondido. You should come here. It's like everything is outdoors. It's all chill. And I was like, really? So I came, and I got off the plane, and I was still like in the zone where I'm like, oh, you have to like, quarantine yourself for a month, and wash your shoes and wash anything that someone's touched, so, and then people start hugging me, and I'm like, whoa, don't, I just got off the plane. They're like, it's okay, man, just chill out. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. I was just on an airplane. And they're like, yeah, we know, it's okay. And all of a sudden, everything just felt so much. I don't think I realized how sort of depressed I was until I started to become less depressed. It just was so like normal to be isolated and alone. And so, yeah, that was really, really helpful to go somewhere a little bit earlier than when the world opened up, to go somewhere that every restaurant, everything besides sleeping in bed, even that, we slept in this like hostel that was just sort of like, I don't know what you explain it as, but not even really walls, like netting and stuff for mosquitoes. But yeah, we were just basically outside all the time. So yeah, that was really nice. But it was, I don't know, it was a hard time for, I think, a lot of people. But yeah, I just kind of tried to find the most joy that I could. And I really love records. And so I started being like, okay, well, what can I do that I actually enjoy? So I'm like, I'm just going to play from my record collection. So there's still a few on YouTube, but where I just kind of DJing my vinyl collection and talking to friends on Zoom about like our music that we made together. So there's one I talked to like Tycho, one to Foster the People, one Billy Idol, like a few of these things you can see on YouTube. But I was doing a ton of them at least once a week for like a year and a half or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, just to keep the creativity going.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. And talking about like vinyls and records, I would like to know, do you have a specialty record that you'd like to show off right now? Because every vinyl collector has that vinyl that they're like, you know, this is my baby, this is the gold mine. Do you have one?
I don't know if I do. I mean, a record I listen to a lot is Neil Young, On the Beach. It's like one of his a little bit more rare records, not super rare now that everything's, well, I guess he's off Spotify, but he was once on Spotify. But yeah, that was one of the sort of hard to find records that I had. I worked in a record store for 5 years, like during college and after college. So that's kind of why I got into DJing, was just from working in record stores. But yeah, I have a handful that I think I have a special connection to. But mostly I just liked, for me, it was more like I wanted to have a library of music because I didn't really like MP3s or CDs. So I moved from like vinyl to streaming. So yeah, I hated to organize MP3s and, you know, you download them and all the like file names were all screwed up and the images would be like all low res and just looking at like a line of type didn't really feel like my music, you know? So anyways, yeah, I just generally thought I wanted to have a library of music because I didn't predict streaming would come along, and now more or less everything you want to hear is online streaming, which I like. You know, people hate streaming for a variety of reasons that are value. You know, they don't pay very well.
Yeah,
but I really enjoy it as a customer. So you know, hey.
We all sin from the same sin. You know.
Oh yeah,
streaming just makes it so accessible.
Exactly. At the end of the day, you're gonna look for whatever's more comfortable for you. I mean, it's good to have music on you know, physical form as well, but you know, at the end of the day, you just want to say, "Hey Alexa, play something," and just you know, let it rip.
Of course.
Yeah, it's really nice, and maybe that helps too for discovery. I mean, I think, you know, if you're a local band in Dominican Republic in Santiago, like at one point in time, just more people than just your friends hearing your music was like straight up impossible.
Yeah.
And now you have at least an option for a global audience, like on day one. So doesn't pay as well as it could, but you know, on the other hand, you have a lot of options for people to hear your music. So
well, let me tell you, the very first time I listened to Poolside was, do you believe, through the algorithm of Spotify. So
wow, right. Amazing. Yeah, that was the very first Poolside song ever released.
There you go.
Do you know, like, you want to know an even funnier story? The first time I've heard Poolside was the first song, but I heard it through the Twin Shadows radio station on GTA 5.
GTA, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of our first tours. Was Twin Shadow took us on tour, and we were at that time. We were 4 guys in a Scion. That was our tour bus, was a Scion car. God. I don't know if they're not really around, but like a small Toyota.
Nice. Well, there you go. There are some more similarities to the fest there.
Yeah.
Poolside was one of the first artists we ever brought for Isle of Light as well. And now you're playing this year here in Isle of Light as well.
Actually.
Yeah. Very cool. First time with the whole band in the DR as well.
Yeah.
What are you guys preparing for your show, and what are your expectations around the public?
I try not to have expectations, but I just try to make it where me and the band have a good time playing our music on stage, and hope that translates to the people. And if it does, then good, and if it doesn't, then it's sort of their fault. Because
you're having fun, right?
That's how I think of it.
Yeah.
That's great.
I would like to know also, do you guys have like a routine or how do you say that? Un ritual, you say it in Spanish, before heading...
Routine, that's a good word.
Before going into the stage.
I mean, we all do a little bit of warming up backstage together and just kind of hanging out. Like, some people have like one drink. We usually play pretty sober. we used to play very drunk, and we've gotten a lot better by not being drunk. Believe it or not. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, in general, yeah, we just, and then we're like side stage, like, and just kind of like all just hang out and just sort of connect, like look eye to eye a little bit, and then go on stage. It's like a team, you know, is how I think of it. And we just go out there to do our music together. And, you know, when we're connected and we're having it's really enjoyable to play music with people. I think that's been enjoyable since like people could like hit stones together, more or less. It's just a very like human thing, I think, that people can enjoy. And so I think if we're doing it in a way we love, then it will at least be what we want to communicate to the people. And if they like it, all the better. But if they don't, like, we're just going to have a good time on stage anyways.
Well, I'm pretty sure Dominican people will love your act. And we can't wait to see you guys live. Thank you so much for this time.
Oh, yeah, of course. Thanks for talking. You guys are great.
Thank you. Thank you. See you on the fest.
Bueno, nosotros...
See you soon.
Yes.
Yeah, see you soon. Ustedes, pues quédense ahí, ya volvemos con más de Radio Bizarro.